What is going on, guys? I am Matt T. Vogt, and this is Let Me Talk to You, a podcast where I find businesses that are changing, growing, and evolving in their area of industry. And today, I have my former drywaller, Terry.
That's not what I thought he was going to say. I thought you were going to say my former girlfriend. I was like, all right.
As I was saying, I have my former drywaller, Terry. We'll touch on that later. But I have my beautiful girlfriend straight out of upstairs. Taylor Nicole Fetsch, the owner of Tailor Made Treats here in St. Louis.
Hi, everybody. I'm Taylor with Tailor Made Treats, former drywaller, flooring expert, painter, plumber, electrician. I did a little bit of everything. I didn't just do drywall. Dog mom. Still a dog mom.
Let's be honest.
Okay, plumbing and electrician's really pushing it. I changed a outlet once, and I changed.
I was going to say, to all my customers, I don't let her play with electrical. You ready for the first hard-hitting question?
Yeah.
What makes your cookies better than everybody else's?
Backstory. You guys already know this, but I'm going to tell the people. Decorated sugar cookies are gross. They're nasty. Most people don't like them. I don't like them.
What specifically do they not like about them?
The flavor's lacking. They're hard. They're just pretty. That's it. Like, they're a decoration. You go to eat it, and it's like cardboard. There's no flavor. The texture's awful. So I had ordered a ton for my sister's baby shower last September 2023. And I spent a good $250 on just decorated sugar cookies. The ones that I got were beautiful. They looked awesome. They were exactly what I wanted, but they tasted awful. They were terrible. They were hard. They were supposed to be s'mores flavored. I don't know if you can try them.
Yeah, they were miserable.
They were so cute, but at the shower, everybody took one bite and pretty much just set it aside. And I didn't even eat any at the shower. I ate one when I got back home from the shower, and I was, again, one bite, and that was it. So I was so disappointed, and I was like, I'm never going to pay for this ever again, and it's going to taste good. I've honestly never really liked sugar cookies, so I just made them, found a recipe, and I started making them the way that I like them, which is soft, super flavorful. Like, I shouldn't be searching for the flavor. I shouldn't be guessing, is this the s'mores one? Is this the whatever flavor I had gotten for the baby shower? So I have 9 flavors. Mine are super thick. They're 3/8 inches before they're cooked. They spread to probably about 1/2 inch, right? And then
She's lost it, guys.
Former contractor.
Didn't say she knew how to read a tape measure.
We learned that on more than one occasion.
So what is the biggest critique then in the market? Is it just taste? Is it?
I would say so. I mean, it's like widely accepted that they just don't taste good, because when I first tried them, and I was just so appalled that they did not taste good at all. Everybody was just like confused as to why I was confused, because it was just known that they're pretty, but they don't taste good. So at that point, I'm like, why even spend money on something that's supposed to be edible but doesn't taste good? Just buy more decorations and then buy something that tastes good. Or we can change the market to where they taste good and they look good. That's where we're at.
It's a fair point. It's a very fair point. So what was you kind of faltered away. How'd you really decide you wanted to do it?
Well, like I said, I did it for Chelsea's baby shower. My sister's baby shower is her first baby. Super disappointed, and I have 3 nephews now and 1 niece, and 4 nephews counting Noah, and 1 niece, and I just wanted to be able to do it for them for their birthdays, their school parties, sports parties, whatever. And if they have any more kids, our friends that have kids, if we ever have kids, even just birthdays, baby showers, bridal showers. Like, people do decorated cookies for everything. And I just wanted to be able to provide that for our family and our friends without having to pay that, because to pay that much money for something that does not even taste good is so disappointing, because money just doesn't grow on trees and everybody's struggling right now. So to put that much money into something that just looked pretty and went in the trash was kind of pissed me off. So I was like, never again. So I was just going to figure it out for them. Then I practiced once or twice. It was trash. I did so bad. I almost gave up. They were awful. They're so bad. I should actually remake them. I should do like a side by side. But then I decided Charlie was almost here. Chelsea was going in the hospital to have Charlie. And I wanted to surprise her with some really cute cookies for when she brought Charlie home. And this was only a few weeks after the baby shower, because she was almost due at the baby shower. So then I tried one more time and I was like, these are actually a little bit better. And then so I just kept practicing. And then, as you know, I would give them all to your mom. And she would take them to work. And then people at her work loved them. And slowly but surely, people wanted to buy them. So I was like, okay, it'll be a side gig. It'll never reach enough to where I'll be able to quit construction. And then it got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm going to have to go down and stop working for you like one day a week. Work for myself one day a week. Work for you the rest of the week. Then it got to a point where I was like, I can't work for you anymore, because this is going way beyond. And now here we are. Like, I have an employee and I do it full time, probably double full time. And hopefully opening a storefront in the next year. Not hopefully, I'm going to do it. Taking it to existence.
Amen. So what's your biggest hang up in the industry?
Like, personally, or like
both.
With
everything,
like the public?
Start with personally.
Personally, I take on a lot more than I should. I mean, I don't know that I shouldn't take it on, but I take on a lot to where I'm pulling all-nighters multiple times a week, and then it takes me almost a week to recover. And every time I do it, it's a little bit harder and a little bit harder, but I'm getting a little bit better and a little bit better every time. Not having to do it.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like that's a pretty standard act. I mean, through everyone I've talked to, it's you start out, you build, you overwhelm yourself a million times, and then you just get to a point where you're like, shit, I probably shouldn't do this. It's affecting the final outcome. And then once you realize it's actually affecting the final outcome, you start putting in strategies and different ways to, make things better. And then once you figure out how to make things better, that's when the growth really starts kicking in and you can really fine tune the art of it. Well, at least that's what I've found.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I got to a point where I was making good money, but I wasn't really at a point where I thought I could hire somebody and give them consistent work. But I just like jumped at it because I was like, I can't keep living like this. I was miserable. I could barely function. And it got to a point where I felt like my work was suffering. I wasn't able to keep up. I wasn't like there cognitively. I just couldn't. I would just get overwhelmed and tired just looking at the amount of messages, because I would wake up and I'd have 17 to 20 messages every morning for people that were wanting things, which is a great problem to have. I'm not complaining about that by any means, but I just could not even like fathom how to respond to everybody because I was so dead. So I finally was like, I just have to do it. I have to hire somebody even for like a day a week. And it was the biggest change. I mean, so freaking worth it. Just to be able to sleep better. And if I can sleep better, then I can function better the rest of the time. And then so my employee handles the dough and the batter and all that. So I don't have to deal with that, and I can focus on other things, and then I go back to decorating. And then soon on, I was like, oh, wow. Well, this is becoming a lot more efficient. I could take on even more.
See what she did there, folks?
What?
She essentially just made her life easier by getting another employee. Smart strategy.
Your life hard.
She made my life way fucking harder by eliminating my employee. Selfish.
Maybe you should pay me better.
Shit. Maybe if you were better at electrical.
You were better at electrical.
That's why I subcontract that shit out. Mm-hmm. But no, seriously, it's nice it's got to be a relieving feeling seeing that, the growth. Was it how do I phrase this? Was it a turning point for your business when you hired someone? What did you notice overall from hiring someone?
The biggest thing, other than obviously it's scary, like having somebody else. Now, luckily she doesn't rely on me for all of her income, and it's just extra income for her. But I mean, that's obviously scary to, want to provide that for somebody or have that responsibility to provide those hours, which I mean,
Oh yeah.
not only were you doing that general, but you were doing that for me, like your significant other who lives in the same house as you, that basically if I don't eat, we don't eat. If you don't eat, I don't eat, because it's all going to the same house. But regardless, I got so off topic. But I'd say the biggest thing was letting go and just trusting her and trusting that what I taught her and what I've shown her makes sense to her and that she's okay with it and she's set and she's comfortable and just believing that she can do it. Because I am very, as you know, I just want to do everything myself because I know I'm going to do it right. And if I let somebody else do something and they mess it up, then I have to go fix it. And it's just more work for me. So in my mind, I've always been, let me just do it all then.
Yeah, I think that's an ego thing. Me and Trey were talking about that, and I feel like almost every freaking entrepreneur has it because what we built is essentially like a kid. And
well, yeah, because I mean, if it takes one person, let's say like somebody slacking off one day and it affects the end outcome of this person's order, and that person goes and tells somebody this really sucked, and then that spreads because almost all of I'm all pretty much word of mouth.
Yep.
And I do a lot on social media, but it's all people tagging other people and sharing their orders. Yep. And all it takes is one person to be like, this really sucked. And me being like, well, that's not my quality, but it's too late. So, and then that affects me because then my business doesn't do well. I don't eat.
Well, yeah, I feel like that's why, I mean, in my industry, that's why I had to pivot from thinking I could do everything to learning how to do everything, and facilitate someone's needs without me actually physically being able to do it. And that's why I can bring in, an electrician, a plumber, people I trust, people I can rely on, people that are good quality, that will stand up to their work with my clients and do quality work. And that's what you need in an employee too. So when you figure that out, oh my God, it just fucking alleviates everything. And I feel like that's such a big hang up for entrepreneurs, at least from my point of view, is that a lot of people just don't want to let go, and it literally hinders their growth. If you
I kind of forced you to let go at one point because you had so much going on, and I had, even before I worked for you, we would talk about what you were doing all the time. Did I do it myself and know 100% what was going on? No, but like you would tell me what issues were and stuff like that, and I would see just from the outside looking in, like where things would fall and like where you could use help. So it's kind of easier for me to step in and be like, just like pick up and anticipate your needs and force myself in because things needed to get done and you couldn't be in a million places at once. So I had to figure it out. And I kind of like forced you to be like, okay, you need to let me handle this or let me handle something else so you can come handle it.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, it's very it's a good fucking feeling.
And then I feel like at that point was when I started pretty much like running jobs by myself.
Oh
And
yeah.
while you'd be out like working on back end stuff or bids and whatnot or on another job. And like you said before, like you and Timmy wouldn't even have to come to the job site. Like you knew it was being handled.
That's exactly it.
But to
It's
find somebody like that is really freaking hard.
really hard. I don't care how many
I don't know if it's
employees you
finding
have.
somebody like that or just trusting in somebody enough. Probably it's obviously both, but
It's definitely both. I think
well, nobody's gonna take care of your baby like you will.
I
And of
think it,
course, like your significant other is going to because like take care of it like you would.
right.
It's hard to bring somebody else in who's like, this is just, like my 9 to 5. I get to when I'm off of work, I go home. Like it doesn't matter what happens after that.
I think it has to do a lot with leadership on whether somebody first of all they have to be a qualified candidate. And you have to put somebody in the right spot and hire somebody into the right spot or pivot them into the right spot. But it also has to do a lot with leadership and be able to, let people fail on their own and make sure that they learn from their mistakes and not hold that against them when they do fail. And I feel like you also have to have the ability to teach them that their dreams, whatever they have, fit inside your business. It's, hey man, how's it going? What's your finances look like? What's your goals? Okay, you want to have a kid. You want to have, you're about to get married. You want to have a kid. You want to move into this new house. All right, let's talk about how we can make that work within our walls so you and your family can thrive and grow, right? So if you can figure out how to do that, and in turn, you will get a very positive, you will get a very working and hustling individual out of that. Because otherwise, if you don't care about the person, then they don't give a shit about your business.
Oh, for
Unless,
sure.
you have someone like Melanie who she has a passion for the industry. So that's nice.
But she's also like us in the way of she takes pride in her work. It doesn't matter what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
She could be cleaning a freaking toilet and she's going to clean it the best way that she possibly can because she takes pride in what she does no matter what it is.
Facts.
And that's like you said, she's interested in the industry in one way or another. She's got a degree in hospitality and event planning. And eventually, when I open a brick and mortar store, I would like to have enough space for like even just like a smaller event space, do like cookie classes or baby showers, bridal showers, cookie decorating parties, kind of like painting with a twist, but you're decorating cookies and drinking wine or whatever, or like vendor events and stuff like that. And I told her that too. I was like, look, I know like she works full time for a country club and she's close with their event planner there too because she would like to get into event planning there. It's not what she does yet, but I told her I was like, look, this is my vision for this, and if I know that's something that you have a degree in, you're interested in, you want to do and continue to like move forward in, and I just want to let you know that that is in your future here.
You
Like,
put her dreams
yeah,
in your business.
yeah,
It's exactly what we just talked about. That's exactly how it should be done. You're incorporating her, you're involving her, you're building with her, not just building yourself.
yeah.
That's the fucking beauty of it. And you did it naturally. That's awesome.
And I love the way we just did our first event together over the weekend. We went to Columbia, Illinois, and it was just like the first time Ace's Wild Gaming Parlor. I thought it was going to be like a arcade bar, just a bar that has like no slots, maybe like a pool table or something. So
That's
it's not what I
hilarious.
thought it was going to be, but I mean, it was still a really cool place. But it was the first time they've ever done an event, and just out in the parking lot. It was the first time Melanie did an event with me, and it was just so nice. We had so much fun just being there and just like interacting with people, networking, meeting new people, just talking and like like kind of going through the motions of like what an event takes. And it got to a point where I started to get a little bit overwhelmed in the beginning because I was trying to write out the menu on this chalkboard so that when people came up, I didn't have to, if I had a line of people, they could see what we were offering, how much it was, what our flavors were, because we had so much of everything. And I kept getting interrupted because people kept coming up. Well, I had already tasked her with another job to like package a bunch of stuff. And so finally I just stopped and I was like, Melanie, can you talk to people when they come up? Not that she didn't want to, but I just kind of was like, again, the way I can be where I'm like, let me just do it. I was just kind of taking that on. Anytime somebody would come up, I would talk to them. She would greet them as well, but I would kind of like take on like the interaction. And finally I stopped and was like, can you take this on so that I can finish this menu so that people know what we're offering? I don't have to say it a million times.
Right.
And she's like, yeah, of course. So then she just switched and she started doing that. I finished the menu. I put it out. And then all of a sudden she just started anticipating needs instead of, I think she realized like I trusted her. Like I had trust in her to do whatever was needed to be done. And I didn't have to baby her and hold her hand. And so she just like started anticipating what needed to be done. And she's like, boom, 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 boom. She's like taking care of everything. At one point, like I was standing back talking to somebody off to the side and she's just, I mean, she's killing it. And we were texting later, I don't know if it was later that day or the next day. And she said something along the lines of, thank you so much for trusting me and having faith in me that I was going to do a good job. And that felt really good to hear because I was like,
oh, yeah.
Like, I want her to feel that way and have that confidence. And she did. And it was just awesome. And it was also so relieving to just know that, like, okay, I don't have to do it all on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to do it all and, like, hoard it all.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's going to be done well with somebody else doing it.
Having somebody that can anticipate your needs, holy fuck. Me and you worked well together. Me and Timmy worked well together. I don't think there's anybody I worked better with, though, than Zach. I don't know if it's because me and Zach worked so much for so long, like in tandem, because we really didn't have.
I think you and Zach have a similar, like, communication.
Yeah.
Too, though. Like, you guys kind of, like, read each other really well and also think and communicate the same way.
Oh, yeah.
Versus, like, that was some of our issues sometimes is we did end up working well together, but initially we didn't. Yeah. It was not great at first.
No, it is terrible.
And because we could not talk to each other and communicate. Like, I couldn't tell him, like, hey, I already talked to them. Like, don't hang up that bag. Remember? Don't hang up that bag holder.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, they don't want that one hung up. But I was, like, trying to give urgency in it because I didn't want you to drill into the countertop where you would have to drill into the countertop to hang the bags, the other bag holder.
Oh, yeah.
But they didn't want the other bag holder, so I didn't want you to drill into a brand new countertop, and then, then you got holes in it. And you took it the wrong way. To be fair, it came out the wrong way. My urgency was more like, what are you doing? And
yeah, that's
you
fair.
were like, ah. So, I mean, it took us a while to get there.
Oh, yeah.
Because we just didn't communicate in the same way.
Without a doubt. And I think if you and the other person can communicate clearly or you can communicate how the other person needs to communicate, it just works. And that's exactly what me and Zach did.
How me and Melanie are. That's like, I mean, in my recipe, it literally says mix until it's a consistent consistency. And that makes complete sense to her. It made zero sense to you when I know.
That's what I'm saying, bro. She's giving me these vague fucking...
consistent consistency, okay? I know, that makes no sense, but it made complete sense to her, and it makes complete sense to me.
So, recently, you got yourself a nice new mixer.
Oh, yeah. Man, you know what? I thought I needed to hire another employee because I'm just, like, barely dipping my toes in a busy season this year right now, and it's insane, which is awesome. I'm loving it. But I was like, okay, I need to hire another person. And then it's kind of hard to, like, hire somebody and be like, hey, you want to come work out of my house with me? And it was easy with Melanie because I know Melanie.
Oh, yeah.
There aren't really too many other people on our board that I'm like, think would fit or would want to or like have the time, whatever. So it'd be a stranger. And I'm like, I don't know that I want a stranger in my house. And I don't know that I would feel comfortable asking a stranger to come work in my house. Be like, hey, yeah, you want to come like work in my house? Like,
You
that's
got Murph
weird.
walking around naked.
What? No. Definitely be like scheduled around when Murph is here. Oh. I'm just kidding. Yeah, like the other night when you almost
Who
got
are
got.
you? I'm him.
Show up.
They'll be
Show
like,
up in the middle
what?
of the night.
They'll be like, who the fuck is this guy? I think there's a stranger in your house.
That's a guy? Yeah. Albert's there. Oh, Lord.
What's your problem in the business itself? Because I originally asked you what your hangups were personally and what's your hangup in the business, in the industry, I guess, if you will.
I don't really have one. I would just say outgrowing bursting at the seams here. I really need a separate space. I need like a brick and mortar, but I'm not. Could I swing it right now? Probably. Would it be in a location that I want? No. Would it be a location that has everything I need? Probably not. So it wouldn't make sense to do it right now. But I feel like that I don't really have a hang up with like customer base or anything like that. Like my prices are high and that's not I don't actually get questioned really ever about my prices. They're high and I get that. But the work that I do kind of speaks for itself because a lot of my clients and customers, like when I tell them like, hey, prices went up, like Kippy, love you, Kippy, shout out, you're my girl. She told me, she's like, girl, you could charge $1 million and I would still pay him. And I was like, don't tell me that because I'll charge you $1 million.
Amen.
You have $1 million? Because I'll do it. But it's not lost on me that they're expensive. And I don't have anybody who like has an issue with that. And I did have an issue with ghosting for a minute. People would reach out and ask prices and stuff like that. And I give them the prices and give them the whole spiel and then nothing. It wasn't until I added in to the end of my spiel, if this works for your budget, let me know and we can talk, designs, flavors and that and whatever. Once I added that in, I feel like it made people feel more comfortable being like, not in my budget. It's not what I wanted to spend. So people, instead of just ghosting me, they'll just tell me that.
You're addressing the issue.
Yeah. Because, I used to do it. Like, if I reached out and
Well, yeah.
Because sometimes you don't realize, like, there's a legitimate person that you're talking to on there. Like, a lot of people think it's just AI or automatic responses. And sometimes I'm like, wow, I put a lot of thought into that whole
It's like the fucking debt collector calling. Nah, bro, I ain't got your money. I ain't answering this motherfucker. Decline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Murph's over there like, yeah, that never happened to me. Lying sack of shit. You.
I have good credit, not because I'm on time. I have good credit.
My man. See?
That's where we're all at right now.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. It pays off.
Crazy if it works.
So what's your favorite part about this business?
I meet so many people from so many different walks of life, so many different areas too. Like, I was just talking to my friend Jordan today. She was talking about moving to St. Genevieve, and she's like, she does hair. Like, I just don't know if I could find clientele down there. I was like, girl, if you got it, you got it. They will come to you. I was like, I've got people all the way out in Forestville, Belleville, Edwardsville. My neighbor is the closest one. I've got people that are 5 minutes. I've got people that are an hour and a half, and they're all so freaking amazing. And I'll charge them $10 for me to drive an hour and a half to them because I don't care if I got the time. I'll do it. And then I get there and somebody tips me $100, and I'm like, it's never expected, and it's always like, wow, these people are just incredible people that I work with. I love every single one of them. They come to me once, they come to me a million times. People send me so many people who they might not have ever ordered from me, and I've had people send multiple people to me. And I keep track of that. And that sticks in my mind. And then that's when, I get my prices aren't for everybody. And I couldn't afford me. I mean, if I wanted to, I could. But would I want to? No, that's why I started doing it. But
right.
Those people who, relentlessly share my stuff and interact with my stuff and just support me and send people to me. I've had my friend Miranda from high school. She relentlessly supports me ever since day one, and she's never ordered from me, but she has sent so many people my way, and she goes to order, and she's like, a little out of my budget. And I was like, well, you've literally sent me so much, income and customer base that's turned into friends and turned into repeat customers, and you've done so much for my business by not even ordering. I'm going to help you out. I'm going to do you a favor. You didn't ask for it, and a lot of times people tell me no, and I'm like, tough shit. I'm going to do it.
That's fair.
And that's kind of, I feel like, why I've grown so much. Yes, I have a great product, tastes great, my designs are great, everything like that, but I just do what feels right to me. And does it feel right for me to give something away for free? Does it feel right for me to charge somebody extra? I just do what feels right.
To charge extra.
Doesn't. Does not.
I don't know, boys.
I'm a girl now.
Huh?
Yeah, that was the running joke, is that when I used to be Terry, well, I was still a girl Terry, but not really.
I don't even know if that lady in Georgia was a girl.
Yes, she was. Don't talk about Gloria like that.
Little backstory on this whole Terry situation. We were doing cabinets, moved down to Florida, started doing cabinets. COVID happened. She quit Target, started what I assumed would be a board holder position, or, making minor cuts or whatever. Anyways, we go to Georgia, walk in this lady's house. Her mother's dying on a bed.
In front room.
In the front room. She's got...
next to the walkway into the kitchen that we are carrying cabinets into. I mean, there's the walkway, and part of her bed, her deathbed, covers the walkway.
100-pound freaking
Super sweet
Rottweilers. These things were fucking massive. I'm like, oh, this is...
27 cats.
Yeah, this is a situation. I'm like, you know what?
Only half of them were.
But, yeah.
Sweetest little old lady you ever met in your life. If you could picture, a little old lady that lives in the countryside of Georgia who works in the craft department. She worked at the craft department at Walmart. That's her. It's Gloria.
Yep.
Super sweet, tiny. I mean, she was a little bitty. I mean, she wasn't ancient old. She was maybe only 60, 70.
Yeah.
60, 70.
Something like that.
And I mean, she was a spry chicken, man.
She was a fucking spry chicken.
But she could not hear.
Fuck
and
no.
She asked me what my name was, and I told her, oh, my name's Taylor. And she said, Terry, nice to meet you. So she called me Terry the whole time. And that became my alter ego. And Terry's dead now. So now, anytime he asks me to do something construction related, I remind him that I'm a girl now. I don't do that. Not that girls can't. Girls can do it. Don't come for me. But me.
Come for. Yell at her.
Don't. I've been there.
Send her hate mail.
I've been working in the freaking men's world since I was 19. I not like that. Law enforcement, construction, and now, I went from, doing dude things, picking up fucking roadkill and chasing dogs and shit, building shit, to, the girliest thing that you could ever imagine. I've always been, the least girly girl. And I've always been a tomboy. I've always prided myself on it. But Caitlin Maxwell, she hit me one day with this healing her feminine energy. I know that is not what this is about, but man, she said that, and she started talking about how she was a diehard tomboy, but when you start feeling safe, you start wanting to dabble into being a girl sometimes, and then sometimes it feels really gross, and sometimes it feels really nice. And so now I'm a girl, and it's weird, but it's growing on me. Especially when he's like, "Hey, can you help me drywall?" And I'm like, "Girl now." Yeah, how dare you?
Unfucking believable.
Unbelievable. That's a great movie. Have you seen it? No, they, them.
It's hilarious.
Kevin
dude.
Bacon. Oh, God.
It's a horror movie. It is
It's really
so
fucking
worth
good.
the watch.
Yeah, you probably should.
Still, nonetheless, you should watch it. It's actually fucking hysterical. So what is your strategy when it comes to cookies? Is there one? Is it like, I got to stay up on the demand for flavors? Do you have a popular flavor? Is it, come and go with flavors? How do you handle like that aspect of things?
I'm telling you, like, I don't have a rhyme or reason. I do what feels right. And I know I'm not sitting here and pretending I know anything about business or anything. I literally just do what feels right. So I like to have options, so I give everybody options. And then once I get kind of tired of the options, I'm like, well, maybe they're tired of them too, and I throw in another one. Or like I'll start playing around with flavors, and man, I really tried to make the caramel apple one happen, and
Dude, you should have fucking did that one. That one was bomb.
I wanted like caramel apple, like a really like real apple flavor, and it tasted more like those caramel apple suckers, which wasn't bad, but it was not what I was going for.
Delightful.
And I mean, and then, if I get enough people asking me for something, if I get one person asking me for something, Dippy asked me for red velvet the other day, so I was like, screw it, let's do it.
Fair enough.
Have I put it on the menu yet? No, but I'll put that in my pocket for like Valentine's Day flavor, or it's fall right now, so everybody wants pumpkin spice. Well, I'm gonna do pumpkin pie, apple pie. Yeah, so kind of a little bit of everything. And then, if somebody asks me for something and I'm like, I don't do that. I don't currently offer it. I'm going to figure it out.
Pecan cookies. That's my
I
dad.
want to eat more nut stuff.
My dad would be doing that shit. He loves pecan pies.
That's like the second I did the Reese's cookies, everybody has a nut allergy. And it's not because it wasn't like, oh, they're letting me know because I now offer it. It was like first time customers, we have a nut allergy. Can you do nut free? And I'm like, yes, I can accommodate any allergy.
Right.
But it was just like all of a sudden everybody that came to me had a nut allergy. I was like, this is not worth it.
So is there any flavors you just refuse to do?
Almond. It's gross. And there are very few people that like it. I mean, there's a lot of people that like it. The very few people who have asked me for it, one, Rose.
That makes sense.
But that leads back to the typical sugar cookie that most people are like, yeah, they just don't taste good. It's because everybody puts freaking almond in it, and it's disgusting. It does not taste good, and it's almond flavoring. That is the other thing is nothing I use is artificial minus my dyes, but I can do non-artificial. I can do all natural dyes. Don't have all of them yet. They're very expensive, and they don't give you the best color that everybody wants. So,
well, I think that honestly,
other than that,
I think that's good for you because I feel like that is we were just talking about this on a podcast not long ago. There's so many chemicals in the shit we eat, and half of it's dyes that companies put in there to make colors pop. And strictly for marketing purposes.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, oh, Mom, I really like the color of them Fruit Loops. Like, they ain't the same like when we were kids. Like,
ooh. And I will say, the connection to dyes and neurological issues, I believe it's there. Have I done a whole lot of research on it? No. But have I seen stuff here and there? And I believe, like, yeah, there's probably a connection to artificial dyes. And, well, yeah, it's freaking chemicals. Like, there's a connection to a lot of chemicals and things. But, so, do I want to move away from artificial dyes? Yes. Is it entirely feasible? Yes, but then you're not going to get those bright colors that everybody wants. So the people who don't care, Great. We're gonna keep going with that. People who care. I got non-artificial ready for you.
Oh yeah. Well, I feel like it's also a big thing in, correct me if I'm wrong, but there are a lot of people who make desserts that use stuff that's not necessarily edible.
There's a dessert shop. Well, there's a bake shop. Karen Ann's, great place. Little mom and pop bakery supply store. They have everything that you could possibly need. And nobody, I feel like, knows about it because it's, again, mom and pop. Super small. They don't do anything online. Everybody that works there is amazing. But they do sell some things that are, they say they're not edible. It says for cake crafts, stuff like that. So, like, yeah, you might decorate, like, your cake board with it. Or, like, so, like, a cake topper, little plastic cake topper. Like, you might decorate it, like, glitter, all that stuff. It's basically saying, yes, you can put this on something that will be removed from food, but you should not eat it. And it says non-toxic. And I bought it thinking, oh, this is cute. I'm going to put it on some cookies. And then I looked at it and it says not edible. It literally says not edible on it. And it says non-toxic. Now, there are edible versions of it. They are not, their color doesn't pop nearly as well. They might not be, like, you might have to use a lot more of it to get that same desired effect. But it might be more expensive. But there are so many people locally and in these groups that I'm in on Facebook that use this like it's edible. And they'll just, like, dip their cake pops in it. They'll throw it on everything. It's gaudy. Like, which is all for them. That's what their customer base likes. Good for them. But it just blows my mind. I can't imagine putting stuff on a dessert that says not edible. And I went to return it, and they were like, sorry, we don't do returns on this, because so many people buy it thinking that they can use it. And they, I guess, get tired of, like, trying to do returns. And then so I was like, well, it says not edible. And they're like, yeah, but it's also non-toxic. So it just comes out the same way it goes in. And I'm like, okay, but still, like, I don't feel right putting that.
Sparkly poop.
Right?
It goes out. It goes in on, like, glitter on a cookie. Comes out glittery poop.
Supposedly. I wouldn't know because I haven't used it. And I would think you would have to eat a lot of it for it to actually show.
Right.
But anyways, like, I could not feel comfortable giving that to somebody and then being like, giving that to somebody's kid. Like, covered in stuff that's, like, not, that's like eating crayons. I would not, I mean, are they edible? No. Are they non-toxic? Yes.
She definitely did that when she was a kid.
Not. Did eat, like, grass. Go out and see, like, a little 4-leaf clover and be like, this probably tastes good, and it doesn't.
Besides the ingredients and the flavoring and everything, is there any particular designs you're just, like, jonesing to do? Or what?
No, I pretty much get to do everything that I want to do because so many people, if I could just make a list of the things that people say to me most, it's do what you want, I trust you. You have full creative
control.
And they were a hit. I don't know why, but I have had so many people, once they, like, have their event or whatever, I follow up with them or they follow up with me. They were a hit. Cookies were a hit. Cake was a hit. It's always a hit. And it is so funny to me because that's always what people say. Yes, do people say, oh, they were great, everybody loved them. It's always, they were a hit. It is so strange, of all things. But, like, those 3 things, yeah. So I pretty much get to do whatever designs I want. If there's something I really want to do, like, I will get it in there eventually. There's nothing that I do have bucket list sets of cookie stuff that I like to do.
Like election cookies? Election cookies?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like you really need to do that, and I could put it as, like, an ad.
That'd be hilarious. Taylor, let the people know where to find you.
Find me TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, at TaylorMadeTreatsSTL. On all of them. I have a website now, too. TaylorMadeTreatsSTL.com. It's that simple. do that simple. Everything is tailor-made treats. I made it really easy.
Sounded like Trump. Tailor-made treats, SDL.
The best treats in SDL ever. Okay, now you sound like a South Park. Oh, also, side note, couple events coming up. Tater Tot Con, Tater Tot Comics, and Collectibles. Boo! Tater Tot Comics and Collectibles. Doing Tater Tot Con. We're going to have some celebrity guests. We're going to have something like prizes and games and stuff like that. And they're going to be selling comics and they're going to have all that stuff. It's like Comic-Con, but Tater Tot Con. November 30th. If you want more information on that, find my social media. It'll all be on there. Also, let's see, December 15th. I will be at, what is that place that does the pop-up bars in Cottleville? What? The pop-up bars in Cottleville?
Little Cattleville.
Hold on.
12 bars of charity.
No. Public Schoolhouse. Public Schoolhouse. They do pop-up bars for like every Valentine's Day. They do Christmas. The agency, the Taylor Group, real estate. Shout out Kippy, Madison, everybody there. They're doing a event there on December 15th. I don't know if it's public. Friends and family event. I'll put more information of that on social media as well. I'm really hoping to get in. So if anybody has one us at, we do free samples. We don't always just sell stuff, but if we can sell stuff, we will. But if not, we're happy to bring free samples.
All right, guys. Well, you heard it here. Got a few events going on that are going to be tremendous. Super sweet. And Taylor, thank you for coming on the podcast. Buy some cookies, people.
Cakes. Oh, cookies, cakes, cake pops, cupcakes. Do it all. Not just cookies. Had to throw that in there. Because some people don't know. Some people,
Cakes,
we don't do
cake pops,
edibles yet.
cookies.
Yet.
Doesn't matter. It's in the name, people. Tailor-made treats. Adios.